into positions of hopelessness and helplessness. The government gives them the drugs, builds bigger prisons, passes a 3-strike law, and then wants us to sing God Bless America. No, no, no. Not God Bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible for killing innocent people. God damn America for treating us citizens as less than human. God damn America as long as she tries to act like she is God and she is supreme.
Just whatever comes to your mind, say it into that microphone.
It's something about Deion Sanders.
No, it's
Colonel Sanders?
how did I
Bernie Sanders?
Colonel Sanders, Bernie Sanders, Deion Sanders. My name's Anders.
Ann Landers.
Yeah, just
I
rhyming
got Ann Landers.
Sanders with Sanders. That'd be a cool gimmick
Rat-a-tat-tat.
for a rapper.
Are we recording right now?
It might be.
Okay.
But rap as if we're not.
Rap as if we're not recording.
So unflappable, call me the Angry Bird. I'll be balls deep in your wife like, what up, nerd? I'm Anders. This is my Anders voice.
What is
I'm President Bill Clinton Anders.
I actually have a... Let me see.
I did not have sex with that.
I did not have
girlfriend.
sexual relations with my girlfriend.
There is a...
I drink kratom, but I did not swallow it.
I did not ingest.
trying to find this one I wrote when I was 19 that was like... Don't let yourself become a capitalist parrot. I forget
Then
what
what?
the
What
rhyme
was the rhyme?
I wish I could fucking remember.
Capitalist parrot.
Yeah,
Just another
what you-
horse looking out for a carrot.
that's right. God damn it! There
That's
was one
right.
in my head. We will get. I promise by the end of the episode, I'll remember. I'll re-remember.
Is the parrot capitalist? Is it like as in, oh, you're just repeating lies? you
Oh,
heard?
Right,
yeah.
yes,
they
it was
lie.
like-
on a pirate ship.
Don't let them convince you that your art does not have merit.
That's what you sound like.
Don't
you're
let
here
yourself
19.
become a capitalist. Well, my friend
Okay.
was doing a hip hop album.
Oh, so you were going to be part
And-
of like the next D12.
Yeah, more like D1, Division 1 in the hip hop world. My boy was going to get swirled up in.
Oh, he's rapping right now. This is
What
the rap.
the fuck?
It could have been great.
This is it.
Oh, here's what I was thinking of. Okay, this is actually a bit that won't work anywhere other than Minnesota, and even there it probably won't work because people will be offended by it.
Minnesotans love this one bit.
Well, yes, some of them will love it, others will hate it, but a lot of people don't realize this. The Twin Cities has a great hip hop scene. There's a lot of hip hop that comes, a lot of music in general that comes out of Minnesota. People don't realize a lot of it stays in Minnesota and is good, but it has a thriving hip hop scene. A lot of it is excellent. A lot of it is teenagers who look like me, with like dorky white dudes. Some of whom are amazing. There's this
Right.
spooky kid.
Rhyme sayers entertainment. Yes.
Yeah, there's rhymes. They're kind of the head honcho, if you will, and then they got other underling. Well, yeah, it's probably changed by now. There's a lot of different labels and stuff, but there are a lot of like white teenage.
I'm imagining you saying this verbatim on stage. Like this whole thing is like the setup. There's
podcasting
rhyme
live.
sayers. They're the big one, but there's many more.
Right.
Let me name 5 more.
I mean, that's what all the brilliant comedians do. Is they do their first 10 minutes cold, and then they
Right.
just crush.
I gotta step into the ice bath of my jokes.
Yeah, no, you want to dig a hole to show how good you are at getting out of the hole.
That's right.
Yeah,
but there are a
I'll
lot of
say it.
so there are a lot of teenage white rappers who do like just it's all their rap is just local references and like bragging about Minnesota.
I
like,
got a juicy Lucy all
Yeah.
up in your pussy.
exactly.
They
You
call
know,
me
a
the Willy Wonka of Lake Minnetonka.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Thank
Minnesota, we be chillin'. We got Prince and Bob Dylan. That's a bar that I thought of a while ago. That's like a satire bar. It's like making fun of someone.
I
was gonna say,
it's a satire bar.
I did not like what you did with your voice during that.
They sound like that. No, we be chillin'. We got Prince and Bob Dylan. Like that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if hip hop works with the Midwest, like representing Wisconsin. Like it just kind of, I don't know if there's a way to make that hard.
Well, the problem there is Wisconsin.
On it.
The problem is when they try to rap from Wisconsin.
Well, I'm generalizing the entire region, but I'm sure that there's a specific.
We got rhymes, we got cheese that leave you down on your knees.
I guess Eminem is from Detroit, and
Yeah.
that's the
He's
Midwest.
literally from Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of idea
Your
and
Honor,
abilities.
Eminem is from Detroit.
Do you remember Idea and Abilities? Did that?
I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I missed.
they
that
were
one.
from Twin Cities. Amazing
Really?
stuff.
For some reason,
One
I
of
thought
them
they
passed
lived
away.
in San Antonio for a minute or something. I had a
maybe
friend who said
they-
he was roommates with DJ Abilities. He probably was
yeah?
lying though, or maybe he lived in fucking. I don't know. This is
I'm going to
something from 10
assume
years ago.
Abilities. Okay, so he was the sound guy, and
The
then
sound
Idea.
man.
That makes sense that he had the ideas and the raps.
He's the idea man.
Right.
Yeah. God, what a cringy era of. I used to be really into that shit because I thought it was like artistic hip hop, but like it kind of sucks.
Idea and Abilities?
No, I just mean the entire genre of like indie hip hop. Some of it's like still, some of it's good.
I mean, like I said, yeah, some of it is corny.
What's
A
confusing
lot
to
of it
me
is very good.
is that when I used to listen to that a lot, but I also like that whole genre, and then I kind of thought, this is kind of lame. Like this is kind of like dorky middle class white people shit. Even the people involved in it that are people of color are like, it's as a genre, it's backpack or whatever. And then what happened is, but I listened to tons of Definitive Jux records. That one, it's out of Brooklyn here, that LP was ahead of. And there's a guy named Aesop Rock that was on it
Yes.
that I liked a lot. I still do. Like, he still makes really interesting shit. But
He's kind of like the famous fabulist Aesop in a way.
but like he rocks though.
But there's one difference.
Aesop Rock, I think he's around here somewhere. Come on the podcast. I would like to talk
When
about Aesop.
when Greek people would listen to Aesop of old tell the tale of the tortoise and the hare, they'd say, "This is missing something.
Yeah, and
I
then,
don't think I can rock to this."
and then he shows up and he's like, "The tortoise is the mortis of your fortis. Jolly wop, the golly wop," and just making up words and
Yeah,
shit.
that in a word, that rocks, man.
Aesop's old fable. Life's not a bitch. Life is a beautiful woman.
You just call her a bitch because she won't let you get that juicy Lucy.
Right.
What is going on right now?
Those are Aesop Rock lyrics. But
I thought you were finishing Andrew's rap.
I was. Yeah.
I thought we were. I'm looking for originals here.
Here's my point I'm getting at, though. When fucking Run the Jewels came out, for some reason, everyone I know suddenly was like, "Oh, I love this LP guy. I've been listening to him for years." And I was like, "No, you haven't, because
you
this
haven't."
sucked, kind of." Or I can't tell if everyone's lying or everyone wasn't talking about it or something. Like, I don't know what that phenomenon is.
Killer
you know?
Mike has a song about Ronald Reagan that's just him telling you about Ronald Reagan for a while.
Yeah.
And I remember being really into it at the time, but it's actually like kind of not really cool.
Yeah, Killer Mike like has kind of bad politics. Actually, it's weird because he's cool and he like he's kind of quasi left and he's around when we're like burning down the city and stuff.
Well, he's a cool guy.
but he's kind of like a black capitalist and like
Yeah.
he's like a don't burn down the police station guy, and that like kind of sucks. And
Well,
so
he's a successful rapper now.
I'm thinking about this because I had a friend who was who's a fucking stupid libertarian, like like a real like reads Rothbard and bullshit like that, and he said he liked that album a lot, and I always thought he was just doing the stupid I'm a Republican and I like Rage Against the Machine thing. But I'm like, no, maybe he did like it and it made sense that he liked it. I don't know. Probably not 100%. I don't think you could be like a complete like compound guy and be completely down with what Killer Mike is saying. But there's a lot of stuff. He likes guns and shit.
Yeah.
Folks, you're listening to Pod Damn America for another week. Your number one hip-hop flowcast.
Oh, yeah, we're going to wrap the entire podcast this
We
week.
got three
God.
B-boys on the mic today.
We're to
Who
drop
knows what kind of crazy stuff they'll have to say.
the worst fucking track of all time, and it's an hour long.
And it's an hour long. We'll cut it down. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
I'm the Mike D.
This Justin, Joe Manchin.
Okay, no, this is breaking.
This is breaking. And this is actually huge news, folks.
What the fuck? Hold on, I'll
We're
call
just
you back.
learning
I'll
this
call
now.
you back.
We're just learning this now. This Joe Manchin, for the first, it feels like the first time. Might as well be the first time. Has agreed, according to the Huffington Post website, to sweeping legislation.
What?
In the nation to raise taxes
What the fuck? How are you doing this?
on wealthy, make sure their bank accounts aren't too healthy, and invest in the climate.
What does this mean? What?
I mean, this can only mean one thing, which is that of course, they're going to raise taxes on the wealthy and invest in the climate. Nothing else could happen at this point. Once he has gone this far, there's no going back. That's if you know anything about a Manchin handshake. I mean, some of the previous ones, they had a weird grip on them.
Are you also waiting for it to rhyme again?
I don't know. I feel like he's trapping me in a prison of words.
What are you doing to my brain right now?
Prison of words.
No. Well, finish your thought.
I mean, this means it's going to happen, right? Some of those old you have to be familiar with West Virginia. Those other handshakes weren't official, right? He has a special way of shaking hands that you only know if you're from almost heaven.
That West Virginia be gripping.
Yeah.
Is there West Virginia rap? What would that sound like?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
It'd be full of plastic.
I'm looking it up now.
My name's Joe Manchin, and I'm here to say...
Oh, I really don't want to listen to this.
What the fuck?
All right, we've lost a portion of Jake's window.
I actually have to go check on that.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Yeah,
Someone just got beat up.
All right, yeah.
Pause. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I know. There was a false alarm. I thought an air conditioner might have fallen out of the window and killed somebody. But it was just like a brick. It was no big deal. There's some real fucked up shit going on in this apartment right now.
I remember feeling so bad when, this was not me, but someone in my high school, we were in an office building. It was charter school. So it was like this historic old post office that had offices in it, which had also had our high school. And we're on the 5th floor, and somebody just chucked a water bottle out of the window for fun, because it's fun to see things, fall. And it hit somebody in the head and actually injured them. So
what's in this climate legislation?
You don't know us at all. We laugh when old people fall. Remember that song?
Oh, I never knew what they were saying for that. That's kind of interesting.
We laugh when old people fall.
We laugh when old people fall. What
This-
kind of operators are you dealing with?
So, according to HuffPo, the proposal has historic investments.
This
historic.
is huge.
The word historic.
From the newspaper that called Joe Biden the Franklin Delano Roosevelt of our times.
It's funny because I remember them saying Joe Biden should, I don't know if they wanted him to run for president, but they were like, he should resign from the Obama White House because he was like the only person who was like, I don't think this Afghanistan thing is a good idea. Would have been not a bad idea, but yeah.
I'm rapping Joe Biden, and I'm here to say...
Yeah. I'm totally fine if you are gay.
I'm totally fine if you are gay.
If you get married and gay. Remember he said that?
If you're
And he
married
likes to
and
take
gay,
credit for it. As if he's... Like, he was supposed to just do a normal interview on Meet the Press because they were, like, waiting for Obama to make this huge announcement in 2012 that he was personally comfortable with gay people getting married, and Biden was like, I saw Will and Grace. It's great. I think it's great if you want to get...
Case closed.
Yeah, and they got really mad at him. But it was...
My rhymes are sick and my bars are ill. Come get a BJ from my wife, Dr. Jill.
Yeah.
The new character, fuck my wife president. I'm working on him.
Yeah.
You want to fuck my wife?
Cuck Brandon.
She's down. She's down to clown.
You can stick it in her taco.
That's how clowns were coming up.
Would you remember, though, when when they passed gay marriage and then, Biden's thing was he was running around the White House draped in a rainbow flag? He was
Really?
like,
Are there pictures of it?
he was like, doing
hold
that
up.
creepy like laugh. He would always, whenever he was like behind Obama, he was always just sort of like grinning,
He's cackling.
and like he had this thing where he was running around the White House with like a rainbow flag on, like a Superman cape, and I remember being like a dumb lib and being like, like the dumb lib thing was like, oh, these guys are great, like they wanted this to happen or whatever, and it's like it's kind of happened in spite of these fucking people. He has an entire career of being against this sort of thing, but they were just like so craven that as soon as that happened, he's like, this is my idea.
He's trying to stop Chase Bank from participating in Pride Month.
It was just so weird. He was like running around with like a little kid with like a cape. It was fucking bizarre. Here's Superman, that hoe, or that man. It's 2012, folks.
You can Superman a man now. When I was coming up, for a man to be Superman, he couldn't have cum on his back. But now it's the only way to stick something to it.
It's 2012. Do you remember? Did people say that in 2012? Hey, it's 2012.
Yeah, people always say the year it is.
Well, that was
Yeah,
also
but-
supposed to be the end of the world as per the Mayan calendar.
Yes.
Right.
Jake
there
is
was
correct.
that. I knew people who crafted their life plans around that.
Yeah?
It was basically a procrastination thing. But I remember, because I was just thinking about this the other day. Remember 2016? After November 2016, right? Oh, 2016 is a terrible year, awful, god damn. Trump, celebrities died. But for most of 2016, living here in New York City, I remember vividly at various occasions people would say, it's 2016, like as a positive thing. Like one time, not to toot my own horn, this happens once every decade, but a woman propositioned me to come home with her, and she was like, it's 2016. A girl can ask a guy out, or a girl can ask a guy to come home, and
That was largely considered like the worst year of all time at the time.
after November.
I guess
But
so,
before
yeah.
November,
A
it
rounded
was like
defeat for women.
the assumption was we would have a female president, and it affected people's attitudes, at least in places like New York. And I remember hearing from other people, like, yeah, and I think it's a good thing, right? People would ask, guys more commonly would ask for, is it okay if I touch your breast or stuff like that? And like, yeah, it's 2016. We ask that now.
When did this happen?
You're talking about
Where was I?
well, you were
In a relationship.
married to the one person you've
You
ever
dang cooking
dated.
me right now?
I mean, no, that's like there is a reality there in like the culture of consent becoming more
Yeah.
normalized. But hang on, I have a question.
Sure.
Did you go home with her?
I didn't, which is, I don't know, complicated, but
He's a prude.
Well, the reason I ask is it would have been funny, like, to know that she hooked up with you thinking Hillary Clinton was going to be the president, and that's like why it was okay, and then like, and then a few months later, like, why did I do that?
yeah. I mean, maybe that happened with other people, probably. But yeah, it's just funny how just 2016 was just this great year for most of it, and then in the eyes of many people, and then just completely 180'd.
Yeah.
But
I think it's worth mentioning about the Joe Manchin thing, that this all happened like 48 hours after all the congressional staffers did a direct action in the steps of very Capitol Hill.
yeah,
And so that might be their wonderful result, is a handshake from a Grinch.
maybe.
If you want to touch the Grinch, you got to go for it.
Right. I mean, I would. I hope that's true.
There's been a lot of peaceful arrests happening this week and last week. First, they get all of our wonderful squad members. They throw them in a car. They're in trouble.
They arrest them with those invisible handcuffs.
Miss Ocasio-Cortez, you are under arrest for being too beautiful. You are going to jail, miss. Also, you can't have an abortion anymore. That's part of the rule. No, but these young spry staffers, they're in the mix, and they did something or other.
Yeah, they had a direct action.
I don't know.
I don't know if that. I mean, people have been doing that to Manchin for a couple years now. I hope it's worked. I hope it's had some impact. Some of them have been constituents of his, but he loves to say, like, "Oh, West Virginians don't want this; they wouldn't do that." You know, I think it's likely that he's bullshitting, or they're doing a little switcheroo and cinema, because at the end of this Politico article it says Christian Cinema learned of the deal Wednesday afternoon, had no immediate comment.
Okay.
So I think they're maybe just switching. I mean, they do this. Both of them are usually the troublemakers, but she seems to maybe be the one now who's going to hold it up, jam it.
I got a Washington Post tweet up here. It says that the deal is $433 billion spending with $369 billion on climate, $739 billion in revenue, which includes tax, IRS enforcement. Don't know what that means. $300 billion for deficit.
Yes.
So climate and deficit, similar numbers.
Right.
That's something to get excited about.
Well, yeah, the money is going to come
Think
from
of the deficit.
Supposedly tax increases on the wealthy, but that's not something Cinema I don't think is going to be okay with, right? That was kind of her big issue. Was
Well, it's not something he's usually okay with,
no,
as he's one of those guys.
yeah, he's tugging them along right now. I mean,
The Baron Harkonnen of America.
yes.
Yeah.
There is a chance that they're feeling the heat, because I actually think there is a not bad chance that the Democrats will hold the Senate, because you got, Fetterman Oz, that would be a pickup there if Fetty Wap wins that. And then in Georgia, Herschel Walker has major brain damage. I don't know if that's going to be enough to...
No, he's got this.
I mean, he could, because he is a Georgia Bulldog, and they just won the championship. So, there's that enthusiasm there. But I think there's a chance the Democrats hold the Senate. I would not bet on them holding the House. So, but maybe they want to seem cooperative for now, and they're just going to drag it along. I'm looking at it as pessimistically as possible. I'm going to assume that nothing will happen, and I think that's probably a safe assumption.
If it's going to follow the trend of every other big sweeping Biden White House spending package, then somebody will just get grumpy and take their ball and go home at the last second.
Yeah. Best thing, I mean, on the federal level, electorally, the best thing we can hope for, and this is doubtful, but if Democrats hold the Senate, they pick up in the Senate, and there's enough pressure from below that they do something about the Supreme Court. What that is, I don't know. Maybe it would be...
They're going to educate them.
Like impeach. I mean, if it's a demand, if it becomes a real demand, and it's widespread enough, then they may act on it. But if there's a demand to impeach Thomas and or Kavanaugh, I think that might have some legs. But
Can you do that?
Can you do that?
Yeah, if you have enough.
For what? Based on what? Based on
They're dicks.
Yes, they're predatory practices. And, there's misinformation. I believe both of them have perjured themselves. And leave it, Anita Hill, obviously, I think is still a valid reason, but also the Ginny Thomas situation. He's ruled on cases, Thomas has, that have been conflicts of interest with his wife, that his wife has had money in. Who, by the way, absolute nutcracker. Do you guys know the story about Ginny Thomas calling up Anita Hill? So
what the hell?
You know about the Anita Hill hearings, right? You've seen the Kerry Washington movie. So there's the Anita Hill hearings in the early 90s. or the Clarence Thomas hearings, and starring Anita Hill.
Starring Anita Hill.
Yeah, she's
As wronged woman.
right. And I don't know, maybe there was a better way they could have done this, but I think she wanted to be public. And Biden sabotaged the whole thing, or didn't sabotage, just did a shitty job, and they basically let Clarence Thomas through, despite these very credible
Allegations.
accounts of
Sure.
Thomas's harassment. Arlen Specter whips out this book and is like, your account of Clarence Thomas harassing you is very similar to this book that I think maybe you read and imagined that it was that, you know.
It's like a Harry Potter book. He's like, hey, awfully convenient.
The fucking guy who was running Hillary Clinton's, like, Oppo, some of her comms, I think technically as like a surrogate or a third party, David Brock, called Anita Hill nutty and a bit slutty in the early 90s. And he just goes on
television?
I think it was in an interview or something.
Was he rapping?
Yeah, maybe he would try to use that as an excuse today.
If it was a battle
like-
rap, none of that holds up legally because you can say anything you want back there.
You're supposed to be insulting them. It's
Yeah,
part of
you're
the art
supposed to.
form.
So
Yeah,
you can
I don't
say
know if
stuff you
she-
can't normally say, like kind of stuff.
They were in a
like,
safe circle. I don't think
Aggressive
she
stuff.
agreed to be in it, but he went in and is now a Democrat and a.
You can tell someone they can fuck Joe Biden in a battle rap, and that's okay.
I mean, maybe that's what. Maybe yeah.
Do you know about the tacos thing that I was referencing?
What?
If I
No.
talk,
What
okay,
tacos?
That's why that joke didn't land. She got in trouble a couple weeks ago.
Oh yes. The breakfast tacos.
Yeah, she called everyone in San Antonio breakfast tacos.
Yeah,
Or she called all the Latinos there breakfast
Right.
tacos.
right. From the what? Yeah.
Well, what about at night, Senator?
Yeah, and you switched to corn tortillas.
You still
They
think
don't-
we have eggs in us?
San
at night?
Antonio, they don't serve tacos after noon. Isn't that correct?
No, it's not true.
Is that not correct, Jake?
The entire economy is based on tacos. They're really good. It's honestly best in Texas, but don't tell anyone because then people will start moving there.
But anyway, Ginny
Okay.
Thomas, just to put a cap on this, so the hearings are in early 90s. Her husband gets through. 20 years later, she calls Anita Hill, who was a private citizen this whole time, has been a private citizen, and she calls her up and leaves a voicemail asking her to apologize for the Clarence Thomas hearings. Just out of nowhere.
Okay.
Just somebody who you don't know them, their husband harassed you, and you told that to people because they should know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then 20 years go by, and they leave a voicemail for you. I really want to know what was going on through her head.
That's
That
crazy.
She's
time.
probably mad as hell, I would guess. Or maybe she wanted to become on the Supreme Court, and so it would have been a victory for feminism in a way. Wife-husband switcheroo.
That could happen. I would not put it past
It's unprecedented.
a wife-husband duo. That'd be a good show.
Right.
On the
So they
Supreme
have to
Court.
get past Clarence and Ginny Thomas.
Yeah.
You know,
Good luck.
A wife-husband duo, Joe and Jill Biden, and they had noticed you from across
Right.
the bar and like your vibe.
They like your
Oh,
vibe.
boy.
And he's
Dude,
wondering
he
if you'll
would-
fuck her.
Part of the
He's
duo just
very-
wants to watch.
He is an oversharer about his wife. About his first wife, he would say several times. This was in Branko Marcetich's book. He would
Marketic?
brag. No, it's Marcetich.
It's
Oh.
Marchetich?
It's
Oh
Marcetich.
my God! I corrected you and got owned.
I didn't know that.
He writes about how Biden in the 70s would brag about, like, he'd give campaign speeches and be like, after this, I'm going to go home and make love to my wife.
Yes, dude.
Oh, he probably just
What
watched
the
the movie
fuck?
Clue.
Yeah. And now his new wife, he'll always say, like, isn't she a knockout?
That is a considerable punch up from "I'm going to go home and make
Yeah.
love to my wife," which is a Brock Lesnar style statement.
Former Minnesota Viking.
Former Minnesota Viking. Okay, well, let's say, hypothetically, best case scenario, all 9 members of the Supreme Court of the United States removed from office, executed by patriots, white hat patriots. Who are we going to get to fill their place? What group of 9 works in such cohesion that they can lead the nation in its laws, in its interpretation, and you need people who have history together. And I'm returning to the original core of the Wu-Tang Clan. Who do we have?
I knew it was going to be Wu-Tang.
RZA, Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Raekwon the Chef, Ghostface Killer, Inspector Deck, You God, and Master Killer. Understanding Old Dirty Bastard is indeed beyond this grave.
Yeah, but it'd be a ghost version of him.
Nothing in the Constitution says you can't nominate a dead person. The Supreme Court.
Nothing, and yeah, it's verified by the Wu-Tang Clan Supreme Court.
You know, a lot of times when they play out his son, who's like, I guess, Young Dirty Bastard must be his name. He does. ODB's.
Is that his actual name?
No, I made that up.
Oh, okay.
But he does ODB's parts. And apparently, he's pretty good at it. So he could do that.
And those are tricky parts to do. The spirit compels you to fill them up.
Also, you know, Clarence Thomas is an old dirty bastard of sorts.
That's true.
But we could have a better one. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just doing punch up for when we make.
He's a fascinating. You mentioned Killer Mike in his politics. Clarence Thomas actually has not. I would not at all equate him and Killer Mike, but
Sounds like that's what you're doing.
he is a black nationalist. A lot of people don't know that, but he genuinely believes that.
I wouldn't call Killer Mike a black nationalist.
No, not
Seems
quite.
rude and uncalled for.
Not quite.
I don't know, man.
I mean, not all. They're not all bad, right?
He's made some statements. You might go in that direction. I don't think he has consistent politics. Is another reason you could be like.
Yeah.
At one point, he said something that was a little bit.
He's idiosyncratic.
He's a fucking lunatic.
Well,
As we all are, but Thomas actually believes that Black America, he views them as 2 separate entities, has to catch up with white America, and the way to do that is by kind of having survival of the fittest mode, basically. So, and big problem is the fathers are not around and incentivizing families and all that stuff. So he's a conservative, and it's weird. There are people like this in near where I lived in St. Paul. There's this place, Elsa's House of Sleep, in which there are signs. Yeah, it's like a weird name for a hotel. I guess it's like a proto Airbnb. It's just like a house that rents out a room. It's a house of sleep. This is right by my old where I grew up, and there were constantly signs that were like homemade signs that were just like the black conservative. Ladies, learn how to shoot a gun.
Okay.
And like this is the only other guy who's like excited about Clarence Thomas. Like Clarence Thomas is #1 fan, basically.
The House of Sleep guy.
Yeah, we gotta get him on the show, man.
That's crazy.
He's an interesting guy on Mr. and Mrs. Tiger Jack Street.
The Lord of Sleep.
Yeah.
That's like a word you grasp for when you're like sundowning and can't get the word for hotel.
House of Sleep.
I gotta go back to the house of sleep.
That's what Biden is going to say about, a hotel.
When Biden got elected,
House?
it turned into the White House of Sleep. You know what I'm saying? Sleepy Joe.
My wife's dad at one point saw a bag of trail mix and really liked it, and then said, "What is this? A potpourri of nuts?"
That's poetic.
He didn't know what trail mix was?
No.
What?
Wow.
The word evaded him.
While we're discussing the upcoming election and what's going to happen, I think I need to talk about this thing I found. It's for a very small race. A guy named Jerome Davison in I guess he's a congressional candidate in Arizona District 4, which is Tempe, Mesa, Ahwatukee, and Chandler. I don't know. Southwest is a strange place. His handle is Jerome for Congress, the number 4, which is very funny.
Like Joshua for a congress.
Yeah, and I don't think he knows that. But he made this insane ad. Did you see it by chance? He's a black gentleman who is a conservative and made this ad where I'll show it to you. It's basically
Okay, it's got the Klan in
the
it.
Ku Klux Klan.
AR-15 for self-defense.
And there's a spike
That no one could possibly need all 30 rounds.
He's There's a
But when
Klansman.
this rifle is the only thing standing between your
Oh
family
my God!
Get 'em.
His friends are coming up on his lawn,
and a
they've all
dozen
got
angry
rakes
Democrats in
and
Klan hoods,
He has
pitchforks,
guns.
and
They
he
didn't-
has an
they
They didn't think
AK-47.
to bring
Automatic.
guns, but he has one.
and all 30 rounds.
Right. That was short-sighted of them.
Yeah, and then he's standing there with his sunglasses and his assault rifle, and there's a Klansman's hood floating in his pond.
Look,
and he's
without
like,
looking into this any farther, that is a good-ass ad.
dude, it's crazy. It went viral as shit because it's like, it's,
He doesn't actually shoot a bunch of guys, but it's implied he's gonna murder 30 men.
it's heavily implied that he just mowed down a bunch of Klansmen with his assault rifle, and he's standing there wearing sunglasses like Blade or
Yeah,
some
he
shit.
looks really cool.
And like all these like all these conservatives and a lot of them white are doing this thing of like, look, this is the greatest ad of all time. See, it proves all this stuff.
I think this ad is based.
Major plot hole in the ad though is why wouldn't the Klan have guns? They're also allowed to have guns.
Yeah.
Brought a rake to a gunfight.
There's like 30 of them.
Yeah, 30 guys with guns versus one guy with a gun. I mean,
They're all they're modern racists are very into guns.
well, it's weird that it feels like he's kind of, insulting his target demographic, right? Which is people who are,
In the Ku Klux Klan.
or perhaps connected to it or don't like at least people disparaging it or feel uncomfortable with that.
I see what you mean, and like a lot of people, if you're like going for the MAGA vote, are going to be in the Klan, or like there's going to be some who are sympathetic to the Klan, but vast, like overwhelming numbers are people who are like, look, I'm not a racist.
Yeah.
Parentheses, all my racist views, but they happen to align with me X number of times. And so, like, to see a sick, young conservative scare off the Klan with guns, which is, like, your first love, is dope, and you love it.
Yeah, because the Klan is the old right, and the new right is the alt right. So, like,
Yeah, they don't like the Klan. That's right.
the most of the, I mean, like, the fringe, like, open membership in a neo-Nazi or whatever hate group type of far-right person is not the massive part of the coalition that is like electing Republicans. Even, obviously there's not as
They're
many of
there.
them, and it's minoritarian and gerrymandering or whatever. But it's like,
They have great costumes.
but I think that's like a powerful ad for dumbass conservative types, because most dumbass conservative types you talk to their argument is like, no, actually the liberals are more racist is
Right.
kind of the thing. And
Yeah.
then point out the ways in which that is true, and but then completely deny. I mean, a lot of these people are people who are like essentially a Klans person, but would claim to be anything but,
Right.
So like, I think it kind of that was good internet chum that guy made, but it is dumb as shit. Like, if you understand it.
Well, it kind of reminds me of Herschel Walker, another former Minnesota Viking. I saw a clip of him recently. He was talking about being in the FBI, which he just made up. And he was wearing a shirt, and I'm probably overthinking this, but the shirt said Cassius Clay on it, which is, Muhammad Ali's given name, or his assigned name, his dead name, really. And so that kind of felt
Dead
like a
named
signal.
Muhammad Ali.
Right. That feels like a signal in a way that, like, I'm going to disregard the name that this guy chose to be Muslim and outspoken activist.
You're really
Figure.
reading into this, but
I thought,
we
yeah,
have
I
to
thought it was
admit.
like a telling choice. But anyway.
What is a name at the end of the day?
Whatever you want it to be. And that's what Muhammad Ali wanted. He wanted to be Muhammad Ali, and people are still calling him Cassius Clay.
It's messed up.
And I think it's a signal. The Today Show has some serious drama. I don't know if you
What
heard
the
about
hell?
this. It is a it's been a while since I've seen one of these, and they used to be good at them. I watched a lot of daytime talk shows as a kid. We did not have cable. My parents in the summer would be at work, and so I would get to watch TV. It was rabbit ears, and all that was on was like talk shows. And they have a way of keeping the ratings up by contriving like kind of joke controversies between other shows or real controversies, a la Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Meghan McCain et al., Rosie O'Donnell on The View. They have the rotating sort of drama queen. But they're trying to do that on the Today Show, and it is failing. This is marketed to me. On Twitter keeps telling me about
You watch a lot of daytime television.
I used to, and I'm
You're a General Hospital fan.
well. Yes, I used to be, but Hoda Kotb and Savannah Guthrie are apparently at odds, and I kind of think this is a manufactured crisis. She's like, speaking of reading into things, there's like a cryptic quote that they have an expert reveal what the secret meaning is of it. Literally, all she posted on Instagram was "Happy Monday, thanks."
Whoa. But what does it really mean?
Right. And then she posted, "A seed grows with no sound, but a tree falls with huge noise. Destruction has noise, but creation is quiet. This is the power of silence."
No, she's
Grow
in the
silently.
Illuminati. That's chaos magic.
It could be. But they got like a body language expert to review. And I watched this clip, and there's like nothing there. It's literally just like,
Wait, there's another one? That's not a real thing,
How
right?
many body language experts are there?
it might be the same one. Patty Wood is her name, but
She might be the only one in America and is just lying.
It's easy to be the only one of a field you made up,
That's
I
a-
found.
Good scam artist grift. You know? Like the Ghostbusters were basically that.
Yeah. They're pretty much body language experts, but for ghosts.
They were trying to bust Bernie Sanders and put him in a little box.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters being brought on CNN to be like, yeah, he's a ghost.
Yeah.
We would know. This is what we do.
Bill Murray is with us, and he's charming and aloof.
so like they have this short segment where they're like working with a chef, and Savannah is in charge. She's the grown up, and Hoda Kotb is being a little playful and not paying attention to the rules. And Hoda walks over to the table and says, "Wait, are we done?" And Savannah says, "Yeah, that's it. Moving on. We'll just move on. We don't have time for all that." And waves her hand in front of Hoda Kotb and cuts off the guest from speaking. And then Hoda starts laughing. No, regarded as an awkward moment, the way it's written there makes it sound bad. But you watch the clip, and they're grasping at straws here. I think they're just trying to do that, and it's not working, right? Because we have so many controversies online that are much more entertaining, and this is like one that's trying, like aspiring to be like a Bean Dad situation, but no one is biting, right? I feel like they've jumped the shark. Meghan McCain was the last big like daytime talk, just must-watch television, her having a meltdown thing.
Yeah, for a while, it was like every other week she
Yeah.
said something insane. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And now they have nothing until they got to put somebody crazy on one of these shows.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy who's running in for Congress, what was his name?
Jerome.
Jerome. Get him
No,
on today's show.
Well, he's
Drone.
running for Congress. I mean, how's he going to go on this TV show?
You can do both.
Jerome with an N.
You can't.
I mean,
do
that would
both.
be that would be the best thing that ever happened to his campaign.
I
bet.
do, well, for the campaign, but then he has to leave when he gets in.
He's not gonna get in. I mean,
He's gonna get in. He has a gun. They have to let him in. He'll kill them.
Remember
Them's the rules.
after Pete Buttigieg lost, he was just like hosting the Tonight Show and shit.
Yeah,
you
that
can
was so
make that
awkward.
kind of transition now. Andrew Yang was a fucking he was like a pundit for a minute, but now he's like the three-way party or whatever the fuck. Everything's
Three-way party.
not left or right,
Three-way
but
party.
fucking go down on my wife. Man, and he's like
We need someone with math to fuck the first lady.
he's also just doing stand up now, which is fucked up. He introed Shane Gillis, the fucking SNL guy who got like unhired or whatever a couple years ago, like in San Francisco recently. There's this weird clip. I was online in the middle of the night and like I saw it when he tweeted it and was like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you 3
It's an
degrees
interesting
of
combination, to be sure.
he did a set, like he kind of did like a long intro, and he I mean I could maybe play it. We don't have headphones in though.
What America needs is science.
Actually-
That's a joke.
I'm not gonna fucking subject my audience to this, but like basically he comes out and he's like doing like a toast kind of thing where he's like, the man you came here to see, he's coming out here in a minute. He's so cool and shit. And then he says like, yeah, you know, a few years ago, he was about to be hired on SNL, and I thought I was going to be president. And, you know, it turns out he's doing better than me now or whatever. But he also says, like, he I hear exactly how he couches this, but Andrew Yang says of Shane Gillis, the guy who got kicked off SNL for making racist...
Doing Asian racism.
He goes, like, in a sarcastic voice... You know, because he's racist against Asians, like, to mock the idea that he is, which, like...
They're good friends, Jake.
It's fucking... Well, whatever the fuck you think about that whole thing, whatever, but, like, why is Andrew Yang doing this?
He needs stage time.
What?
You can't work on your shit if you don't have stage time.
What good does that do for him to come out and be like...
It takes 1,000 hours before they make you president.
A lot of people think my friend Michael Richards is racist against black people, but right? He's fucking
trying
cool,
to,
right?
He's trying to do the beer summit thing. He's trying to, like, you know, be a voice.
I'm Barack Obama, and I'm opening for Mike Richards. You may remember him as Kramer, the enigmatic young man.
Also just kind of had this weird 1,000-yard stare when I saw Andrew Yang tweet this at like 3 a.m. because stand-up comedy is stupid. Like, it is a bizarre niche art form for nerds, and I got into it thinking a long time ago, maybe I'll make some money doing this someday, and that's kind of it, and I like it. And the weirdest part about the bizarro future that we live in, that seems like hell all the time, and then slowly you realize all of the fucked up things that are happening are inevitable by learning about history and stuff like that. This weird mind fuck. It's kind of happening to you all the time. I've just been thinking a lot about why stand-up is so adjacent to the worst political shit ever, and it's like, it's the art form of the times that we're in, and the times are fucking bad. So, like, something about this thing that is cathartic and is embodies this specific like area to be reactionary in so many ways, and just sort of like launder bad ideas for applause through the pretense that you are performing an art, is like catnip to like Andrew Yang's and Gavin McInnes's and people like that. All these people are doing stand-up, and it's fucking crazy. Like, I shouldn't know someone who has Andrew Yang's phone number. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a crucible of bad ideas, a safe place that they can rest their head.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it's not a crucible for good ideas the way a podcast is. And that's why I'm asking, what if the original Wu-Tang Clan were the Supreme Court? And what kind of rulings would they pass?
Yeah, but you know,
the Lucy Accords.
Obviously, podcasts are dumb, but like Andrew Yang is not on our podcast. I don't know. It
could have happened, I feel like, a few years ago. We could have done it.
Yeah.
Probably not now.
I almost got Tom Steyer one time, and then he realized we were all making fun of him.
Yeah, the jig was up.
Yeah.
I sent out queries to, who was it? Hickenlooper, Delaney. I asked a bunch of them. Yeah, we should have. I mean, people ask sometimes if we should, can you have this politician on the show? It's a net negative for anybody who's running for office.
We're all just hurting each other.
Right.
Yeah, but they are like freaks. Like, they all want to do it. Like, sometimes you have to, like, we have to be like, don't do it.
Yeah,
like,
there was someone who we won't name who was on a show with you and someone else.
Oh.
I forget who it was, but it was like when this person was running for office and they had to be talked out of doing this show.
Yeah,
or just like speaking at this.
That person pulled back their, like, instead of being on the panel with people like me, they sort of siphoned it off to a different section or whatever, or like sectioned it off rather.
We have Jake and the pig poop balls react.
Yeah, I'm wearing the I'd rather be drinking piss shirt, and then fucking AOC's hanging out with me. It wouldn't make any sense. But well, okay. I mean, other news of the times, other bad things that are happening that maybe could be
What's going on?
Could be overturned, perhaps, if the Democrats were in fact to retain a majority in, say, the Senate, is that the Choco Taco disappeared this week.
God.
It was somehow
The what taco?
discontinued. Choco Taco, sorry.
He calls it the Choco Taco. Like the Final Fantasy bird.
That's what just
But a
happened.
taco.
That's what happened to my brain. Yeah. Is it?
We're all actively stroking out this episode.
It's the Choco Taco, right? I guess the rhyming is totally why they named it that.
Yeah, and because it's full of chocolate.
The Choco Taco, if you don't know, if you've ever been to an ice cream truck, it's like an ice cream cone, but it's shaped like a taco. So the tortilla, the hard, crunchy tortilla, is like a waffle cone type situation. And
Yum.
then there's ice cream in it, and then it's sort of like covered with a chocolate shell, like as if to be the sauce. Very clever. And for some reason, it was discontinued, and the story went, as you were saying about that Today Show story, like forcibly viral. That's how they make things like that happen now,
Yeah.
right? This is not an important story, but it was forcibly viral, which means they wanted it to be for some reason,
They want to. Someone in the company wants to bring it back.
I'm Googling
They didn't want it to go out with a
Choco
whimper.
Taco why.
Well, I actually followed a debate about this on my Facebook. I lurked. And
Choco Taco is actually what Jill Biden calls,
Alaskan.
No, what is it?
I guess Afro-Latinos.
Oh, I see.
What she said. If that's the accurate racial slur there? I'm not
I
sure.
guess when they... Well, in this example, and I'm not saying I approve, it would be when Joe and Jill bring home one of these young men or women and they fill up her taco.
Right. With
Then it's a chocolate. In her verbiage, a Choco Taco.
this is her talking because she's
This is
the
the kind
racist.
of twisted stuff the people in the White House are saying.
I mean, so I followed a little back and forth about this, and someone was saying that they got discontinued because no one was buying them. And people buy Klondike bars all the time. And they're actually sort of analyzing this through a racial lens that Choco Tacos are, ethnically tinged, and therefore people didn't want to buy them.
Is that?
I don't know if I accept that.
if that's anything.
But someone else is saying, like, hey, I love Choco Tacos, but you can't get them anywhere near me except for this one spot that I would have to go to. And I would go there every day. And the other person was like, okay, but the reason you couldn't buy them anywhere else is because you're the only fucking person who wants to eat those. No one else wants them.
This is interesting.
Are they bad?
No, they're good. I
pretty
don't
good.
eat them because I don't eat dairy, but
I've literally never had one because I always want like the actual ice cream when I go to the ice cream truck. Like who's getting these pre-prepared?
I always
I mean-
want the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pop with the bubblegum eyeballs, but when you get them, and I have a friend who is an ice cream man who has confirmed this.
Hey, Hilly?
A man of ice cream experience.
Yeah, Andrew Hiller. He's a real ice cream man. He and a great comedian. I think he's opening for Off of Their Head soon. Pretty cool gig. He told me that like he as an ice cream man's like he has like business knowledge and stuff and like inside insight. He was like, nah, man. Like, when you get one of those things, as soon as you open the package, the thing is it's been sitting around for like a year. So it's like, it doesn't look like the guy's face or anything. It's all
Yeah.
fucked up and hard to bite into. And then he was like listing off, like, you got to get this one or whatever, which I can't even remember what the fuck he said because it's not how I think when I go to an ice
Was
cream
it
truck.
a dilly bar?
No, something else. I don't know. It's something I didn't know about.
Dilly
Or,
Bar is just like Dairy Queen's
bar.
like stock. Yeah.
But my point
They suck.
being, a lot of these, I mean, okay, look, one of my jobs,
Jake is bargaining now.
one of my first jobs I ever had was working for a fireworks stand.
Nice.
And I think this is a similar like type of business where like this is like very off the books and very legally dubious, and it's probably somebody in like white organized crime is like laundering money through it. So that could be anything from like the mob to the last season of Breaking Bad, scary hillbilly Nazis type people.
Oh my god, I'm so scared of those.
That's like basically who I worked for when I worked for this fucking fireworks stand. But
Hillbilly Nazis?
Yeah, they were fucking terrifying. These like weird hillbilly people we had to go.
That Aaron Paul chained up in the basement?
Yeah. That season reminded me of the guy who owned the fireworks stand, like really hard. But
it's like an extremely far-fetched premise. It feels like.
Point being, these are like ice cream pops that have been sitting in a fucking central freezer somewhere for like 5 years or something. Like it's weird. Like it's like, you know, they have some line on these things and then sell them and use the trucks. Somehow they're scraping all the money off the top. So to try to interpret the discontinuation of the Choco Taco in some sort of politically economic way by saying, oh, the demand went down here or something because of racism or whatever, there's all sorts of ones and zeros you're like not seeing behind this. But it is an interesting argument because like I think to argue that they went away because of racism also doesn't make sense, because racists that hate Mexicans still eat the fuck out of tacos.
Yeah.
Like it's bizarre. They're like, get them all out of the country, but then I want to keep the restaurant.
Yeah, right.
It's like, who the fuck do you think is going to make them?
Right.
That's a point that's been made in stand-up over and over and over and over. You know, who's going to build the wall and shit?
Mencia's wall of tacos.
Yeah.
Yes.
What if a nuclear bomb killed all of us right now?
I would love that.
Or actually, not Mencia. He stole it from. Anyway, what's
Louis
his name?
C.K.
No, I have to attribute the original author of the joke,
Dane
Ari Shafir. Yes. The Choco Taco, I would take it any day if I ate dairy. Take it any day over Klondike bar. Apparently, Klondike sell way more, and that's what I don't get because.
Those aren't good either.
No, both of them, I feel like, and I agree with what you're saying about the prepackaged ice cream because it's extra cold, you know, because you can't really let it thaw. It's not like you're going to leave, you know,
But I
a
don't need it
Klondike
to be
bar out on
more
your counter
cold.
and let it drip on the, huh?
I don't need it to be more cold than frozen. Frozen is already the maximum amount of cold I require from my ice cream.
Well, yeah, but you want it to be a little less than, like, totally frozen, right?
Yeah, I don't want it to, like, hurt me.
Sometimes
right, and
when
that's what they all are.
Yeah, like you bite into it and then it's like it snaps
Yeah.
off because it's like that hard and kind of
hurts.
dehydrated or something.
Yes. And it hurts your teeth from the temp and the dexterity.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
World-class chocolate, Baskin-Robbins.
Damn, you were ready.
I mean, that's what
I like
You know what I'm
Moose
realizing
Tracks.
now? I used to love that as a kid when we go to Baskin-Robbins, and I was like, oh, this is white chocolate. And now I'm thinking they probably just did vanilla, because I've always hated vanilla.
White chocolate's a weird flavor.
Yeah.
Is it a thing, or are they just fooling you? Is it just psychological?
It's the white wrapper of ice cream flavors.
Yeah.
I guess. Because I've always hated plain vanilla ice cream. I feel the same way about that I do about cheese pizza, where in both cases,
You're wilding out right now. Jake, what's your favorite ice cream?
No, he's right though.
you know what I'm saying?
Live a little.
Whoever invented these, so there's somebody. We'll stick with ice cream. The person who invented ice cream found vanilla. They got to vanilla, and then they're like, "Oh man, I'm exhausted. I gotta take a nap." But they were about to put a bunch of other shit in the vanilla ice cream. Someone saw it and was like, "Wow, what a brilliant idea!" Here we go, vanilla ice cream, and it was never supposed to be a thing because it's like
High on a windowsill.
The person who
it's
invented
like
ice
-1.
cream. Willy Wonka?
Mr.
Man,
Wonka.
I don't think he did ice. He was a candy guy. I don't know.
He
if
did all kinds of stuff.
Did he do ice cream?
But vanilla is like an exotic, like, what do you call it?
Flavor?
Like the plant. It's like a
plant.
spice or some shit.
It's an
Yeah.
herb.
But it's weird how it feels like an empty sheet of paper.
Yeah, it's
like nothing
negative.
on it.
It's negative
It's
taste.
become like, that's shorthand for like, oh, that's boring. That's vanilla, you know?
Right. Maybe that's
It's like
just
a
psychological. Maybe
canvas
it's
for-
self-loathing on my part.
It's a canvas for other flavors because it's
Yes.
plain.
I
So
don't-
you can put things in it.
I don't think that is how ice cream works. I don't think you start with a vanilla and then add something else into it. I think it is its own flavor.
Maybe.
You're right.
Maybe.
You're right.
Yeah, you know what?
I agree.
I think this is just child me not being aware that vanilla is a plant and just thinking that it is ice cream is automatically vanilla.
This is definitely child Anders like logic.
Yeah.
It's like not true. It's vanilla is it's a
Okay,
thing.
but cheese pizza. Cheese pizza is Pizza is cheese until you put something on it.
That
And
is a-
whoever invented pizza wanted stuff to be on it, and then someone found the cheese pizza and was like, "Oh, let's just eat this."
See, I'm not that sure that's true for cheese pizza, though. I feel like cheese pizza, at one point, they were like, this is it.
Whoever invented pizza,
Ugh.
savory Willy Wonka, who's Italian. He wears an orange suit.
Joe Manchin, Italian, also has an orange tan. Oh no, that wasn't Willy. That was Oompa Loompa. Joe Manchin does look like a fully grown, well, not grown, but fully,
You know, an Oompa Loompa looks like JFK, like we were talking about last time, with the jaundice.
The jaundice and the...
So they're all
That's
Irish.
mostly it. JFK way taller than an Oompa Loompa.
He actually
really
had green
me.
hair. He had to dye it.
He had to
It grew out
dye it,
green.
and
It's
it
an
was
Irish
sad.
thing.
Yeah.
You really had me at savory Willy Wonka.
Just imagine him. He's got an
Hey,
entire factory. It's just like-
Willy Wonka's umami factory.
there are 5 Wonkas in the universe. A sweet one, a sour one, a savory one, an umami one, and the terrifying bitter Wonka.
Welcome to Wally Wanka's Factory of Pleasures. Come into my Marinara River, where all the fattest boys drown.
Yeah, I would love to. That's the one I would go to because that's my taste.
Oh, enjoy this chicken bread plant. They grow out of the ground.
I love it.
It's like a Parmesan.
Just beer battered fish and fucking cheese sticks and shit.
Yeah, Willy Wonka actually is inviting the kids to his factory to eat them. It's not the same story.
It's Wally Wonka, actually.
Wally Wonka. Fuck.
No,
That named Wally Wonka.
I don't know. I was imagining more like they are all Wonkas from different universes or something, and then there's like a fucking thing in space that they meet in.
The spicy Wonka.
Yeah. The mouth ship or something. The pallet is what it's called.
Meet me at the pallet.
Yeah.
And bring your freak shit.
Others have commented on this, but it did always strike me as kind of the strangest thing about this movie, about the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or wait, it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's the name.
Charlie and
It's
the
kind of
Chocolate
like Frankenstein's
Factory.
monster.
The remake is Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp.
Okay, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know if they do this in the remake, but he has like 10 grandparents, and they're all in the same bed 24/7.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
I was
They
kind of
live
jealous
there.
of that for a while.
That's what it was like in the Depression, is you put 4 grandparents in one bed and they sleep foot to foot. And I'm assuming they fuck. They all fuck in a big pile.
You know what always
Yeah,
stressed
so
me out
Biden's
about
gonna
that
do it
scene
all
is
the
like, you know how much it would suck to be like not on one of the ends of the bed? Like
It would fucking blow.
like a middle seat on an airplane type situation.
Right.
Unless you
Unacceptable.
have reverse, some people have. I used to have this. Now I changed, but the reverse claustrophobia. There are people who like it, who prefer it. You know, when you go to the and I kind of like when I go to the movies. I always
Snuggle bugs?
yeah. There are people who like it, snuggle bugs. Well, people who just don't like being on the end. I don't like being on the end when I go to the movies with friends, and I always wind up on one end.
Okay, because then you can't whisper to 2 different folks.
Right. It's
And I want to whisper.
So I'm
My
sure they have it
thoughts.
worked out and.
I like
The cuddle bugs in the
whispering
middle.
a thought to one friend, seeing if it works, and then being like, all right, I got some good material
Right,
to
test
try
it
over
out.
my other shoulder right now.
I fucking
Get some edits.
hate it when somebody whispers to me during a movie. It drives me insane. There's no way to be like, you just have to be like, don't do this.
Which is something I've heard before.
Have I ever done that to you?
No, Kath did to me once. So when we went, the first time after COVID where we went to the movie theaters, we got really high and saw The Green Knight, and I'd like eaten an edible right before, and I was like doing jokes at her like an hour in. She was like, hey, just shut up for the rest of this. And it's like another 2 hours. So I was like, yeah, all right.
Remember, did you say anything to me during Crimes of the Future? Did we chat?
Yeah, I think I did a lot because I'd
Okay.
been drinking.
Did you
trying
point
to
to the
remember.
screen and go, they're doing the crimes of the future?
Criminal Future.
The crimes are organs.
Well, no, we definitely conferred to realize to try and understand what the hell was going on.
It was a confusing
say,
film.
One of one of the few times I've been discriminated against was age discrimination before Inside Man. Me and my friends went to when we were like 14, 15. And we were very respectful of movies. and this fat guy in front of us. Before, we're kind of like...
Like how your story about getting discriminated against on the basis of age is like, this fucking fat
Yeah,
guy.
this porker, vanilla ice cream and cheese pizza loving.
Oh, he loves them.
Lump.
He just loves just full of plain food.
Yeah. He whips his head around and he's like, you kids aren't going to talk through the movie, are you?
Oh my
Like,
god.
we're no more likely to do that than anyone else, you know.
I don't know. He might have had a point.
Well,
We weren't even, it hadn't even started. The previews hadn't even started.
it's wrong to generalize Anders as a talks at the movie ass motherfucker
That's true.
when he's more of a young white rapper.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, maybe he discouraged me from picking up a few bars during the film, and if I had done that, I would have had an Inside Man based EP that would have shot me to fame.
Yeah.
And that's the news this week. Yeah. A lot of good stuff. Choco Taco, R.I.P.
Yeah.
I don't think you're racist.
Oh, I thought you were about to rhyme again.
No.
Choco Taco, rest in peace. I'm gonna eat this pizza grease. I got some
Whoa.
vanilla ice cream. I'm going to sleep and having a food dream.
Wally Wonka.
Willy Wonka, there's a savory one, a bitter one. I don't know. They're a rap group. They're like a Wu-Tang.
The Wonka 5.
God damn. All right. Hey, folks, stay safe out there. Monkeypox is apparently just turning into another pandemic. People are being weird and homophobic about it. It looks scary. I don't know what's happening. I decided to ignore it until this week, and then it's not going away. So have your dogs spayed and neutered, and what's other good advice?
Anders is a Substack.
Andrews is a Substack.
Let me pull up I'm going to get it right this time.
I just meant that was good advice, was to follow
Yes.
Anders Substack.
Andrews says Substack.
Great advice. AndersLee.substack.
Listen to this dub track.
AndersLee.substack.com. Yeah, we do fun
Bruh.
little alt history shit on there and on this show. You can find it by subscribing to our Patreon, in which we discuss Winston Churchill's crazy-ass, abominable essay about what if the South had won the Civil War. You would not believe what this vanilla bastard says. Also,
Winston Churchill on his most Anders Lee shit.
when is this going to drop? Friday, probably?
This weekend sometime.
Whenever. I don't know. Let me know when you want me to drop it.
If we could do Friday and I could plug Botanical Comedy, which will be at Misfit Kava in Bushwick, 82 Central Avenue, Saturday, July 30th at 7 p.m. Doors at 7, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We got some great comics. Sahib Singh, the one and only. David Twitty, friend of the show. Samantha Ruddy, Jaffer Khan, Wendy Steiner. Might be forgetting somebody, but come check that out. It's going to be a shit ton of fun, and you can drink kava and kratom while you're watching. It's going to be in the backyard.
Hell yeah. Just getting keyed up on Kratom and laughing maniacally. I'll be making my own Choco Tacos and selling them here in Brooklyn for an insanely absorbent amount of money, probably. They're made out of Mast Brothers chocolate that's 100% bean to bar. Remember that from Twitter a million years ago?
Remember that?
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I don't have any plugs anymore. I don't know. Just like me and subscribe to the Patreon so we can live.
Thank you, Senator Manchin.
Are you, huh?
I'm just thanking Senator Joseph Manchin for what will definitely be an earth-saving deal that he just cut. I can foresee nothing going wrong with
Oh, no, Anders, you're going to
definitely
look foolish in perpetuity when this comes out.
this. Is he gonna No, this guy he never renegs. He only negs. Keep negging.
Keep negging.
I don't know about that one.
All right.
I'm Jinx. Wait, how do I alternate Jinx? Okay, yeah. Don't hate to say I told you so in advance for when he drops this thing.
Alex, you don't have any plugs?
You can. I have no plugs. That's it. That's
Fuck
it for me. Fuck it.
How do you end a rap? Like, what should we? Orson.
When the boys say fuck it, trying to drop that track. Oh, sorry. When the boys say fuck it, it's time to drop that ep in the bucket. Finished.
Why do you have so many of these? It's finished.